it's Rich Tarani. Thanks for watching. We're at the IT Expo Tech Super Show 2025 in Fort Lauderdale. And as part of the Tech Super Show, there is a co-located IoT Evolution Expo. And Greg Jones with Kajeet is here to talk with us and tell us a little bit more about his company and what makes it different and what's exciting in IoT. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. So Kajeet has been in business about 20 years. We started off in education. Our biggest mission in the beginning was, we called it Connections for Good. It was all about helping, kids in underserved or rural communities be able to get connected to broadband so that they could help close that homework gap. We grew from there quite a bit during COVID when everybody had to go, remote school. And so I want to say we probably connected over 500,000 students in like 3 weeks. It was kind of crazy. But, everything from procuring the devices to putting them into packages to get sent out, and we call it the easy button, provisioning them to whatever the right cellular carrier is in their area, putting on child protection so that it's content filtered, all those kind of things. So that was kind of the early start, was in education. Since then, we've branched out into healthcare, transportation, a lot of work happening now in things like EV charging, and we work a lot with the large cable companies and things like wireless backup and failover and things like that. We're headed also, we do a little bit in agriculture, and we're headed into other areas like automotive and things like that. So the probably the biggest differentiator for us is we go very deep in a vertical. Our strategy isn't we just do everything for everybody. We're not a connectivity player. We're a managed solutions provider. And the difference with that is we go in and understand exactly what your business is trying to do. And then we try to offer a solution that packages everything. As I'm sure you know, the IoT ecosystem is very complex, from, what kind of device do I need, and how am I going to get it connected, and what kind of controls do I need to have on it, and am I going to have the best experience? Do I need antennas on it, like all those kind of things? But we go way beyond that into more of the controls perspective. So we have controls and security set up for the network, the devices, the applications that run on it. And we even get into, because we bring all the data that passes through the cellular network through our core network, we backhaul that traffic. And so we see every bit and byte, billions and billions of rows every day. And then we can look at that traffic and do a lot of things with it. Like I said, we could whitelist or blacklist certain things. We could block certain MAC IDs or only allow certain MAC IDs on devices. We can look at the information that's happening and identify patterns, and say, for instance, hey, this EV charging station usually gets 50 things a day, 50 charges a day, and it's only getting 3. That looks odd. Maybe that's something we should push a new firmware or do some kind of action to fix that. So in every one of our verticals, we go very deep. And we try to use that information that we have to create better revenue streams, lower costs, easy solutions that are plug and play, and that's what I think our customers appreciate us most for.
And do you sell directly, or do you go through a channel, through resellers? How does that work?
Yeah, it's great. I would say in education we probably are more direct because we've been in that space for so long. But outside of education, with the exception of probably some of the major cable providers, we primarily go through channels. So we sell a lot through, the CDWs and the other types of folks.
Are you seeing any trends in the IoT space in the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, one of them obviously is there's a hunger for data, and how to, what I would call taking that data that's on the device, instead of it just being a dumb device that you connect, taking the data and what's happening on that device, using that to pull information out of it, build some kind of insights on it, and now, especially with AI, pulling all that data forward to turn it into automated actions. So one example I'll give you is we will find out if somebody's put a SIM card in a device, and we provision it that way, and then they want to take the SIM card out and put it somewhere else. Well, we're going to know that, and we're going to take an action to send an alert or shut it down. SIM card detected in foreign device. Or we might take something like remote patient monitoring, and we might notice that the smart scale in a diabetic home remote patient monitoring kit hasn't been working. So we're going to contact them and say, is it just you're not stepping on the scale, or is it because the thing's broken? What's going on here? Because those are the kind of things that when you're trying to prevent something as simple as that, somebody getting weight built up on their leg and suddenly they end up getting an amputation in the hospital, just making sure that everything works and stays connected, and then you're constantly keeping that information flowing is critically important. So it's more than just connectivity.
Yeah, it seems to me in the age of AI, where data has become crucial to train models and to differentiate companies and what they're able to provide. AI models, right, they live and die based on the data they have, that IoT can be a very important part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned about taking actions. One of the things that we're getting into now that I think is really exciting is being able to not just do the managed alerts of things that we would think looks like it's wrong. Oh, doesn't look like somebody is, checked in for their glucosometer reading today, or this EV charger's down, or whatever, but rather instead using AI to take those cohorts of devices and say, well, this cohort should act a certain way, what is normal, and then turning it loose in an unsupervised model to just let the machine say, I see something abnormal. This smart bus seems to be acting very different than all the other smart buses. Why does it have 70 kids connected running 2 terabytes at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? So that's not an alert that I would have built or thought to build, but because we're building these cohorts and it's looking at within these device cohorts what is and isn't normal, the machine can just spit these things out, and then we can validate them as false flags and then retrain our models. And so it just gets more and more exciting, the kind of things that you can do as AI gets more brought into the IoT infrastructure.
Fantastic. Anything else we should know?
I'm having a great time at the show. I will say this, being here with all the experts and being able to hear from everyone else, the kind of things that they're doing is really exciting for us. It helps us to raise our game, and I really appreciate you guys having us here.
Thanks for being here.
All right, take care.